Miltibet fam, I'm here to introduce you to Julio Cesar Sandoval. He's a really good friend of mine. We met at a White Feather Investment training and networking event, and we had a lot of things in common, right? Primarily, we both migrated from our countries, independently, of course, and then he was able to transition both from the or from his country to the United States. He decided to join the military, the United States Navy, best branch in the world. Um,
Yep.
and from there, um, he got out. Then he had a whole bunch of more transitions, came back, and he joined the Air Force. So he has like 20 retirements already set up, and he's working on his 21st. And he's here to, have a conversation with us briefly. Julio, welcome.
Thank you, Yogi. So, as Yogi mentioned, my name is Julio Cesar Sandoval. I was born in El Salvador, came to the United States when I was 13 years old. I joined the United States Navy when I was right before 19 years old, and I was a dental technician, 5 years active duty. And as I got out, I thought I had a plan on what I was going to do for the rest of my life and go to college. Unfortunately, things didn't work out as planned, and so I ended up getting different jobs. I joined the reserve, the Navy reserves, at that time, which I ended up doing 8 more years as a reservist. So I did 13 years Navy, and at that point, I decided to switch from the Navy reserves to the Air Force reserves. I was on a second career by that point after I got out of the Navy, um, and as I did that transition into the Air Force. I got out of the medical field and I actually was doing law enforcement in the outside civilian world. And I actually became a military police with the Air Force. I did that for 10 years, ended up with 23 years altogether of military. And I retired in 2015 as a Master Sergeant, E7. And since then, as Yogi mentioned, I've been able to learn more about the different benefits that we have from the military, like my GI Bill. I've been able to reach the level of getting a master's degree in uh, in adult education, which I earned last August. And also, I've learned recently about how we can maximize using our VA loans um, to try and invest, and use that for trying to achieve financial freedom, which I think is pretty awesome. So one of the things that Yogi and I spoke on that day when we met and since is how, as a US veteran, we have so many different opportunities and benefits that are out there for us. And we just trying to figure out how we can help those of you out there maximize your benefits as well.
And something I want to highlight, you're focusing on education, you're focusing on financial freedom. And right now, I think financial freedom is a huge catchword that everybody tries to use, right? Some people don't really understand. But
Right.
what I want to highlight the most is you mentioned education, right? And on the deeper dive, when we do actually do a podcast together and it gets released, you're going to talk more about your opportunities of different certifications, different educations. Where are you at with your education? You just finished, correct?
I'm sorry, I lost you there. What was the end of the
So
question?
I wanted you to talk about your education, your degree. Where are you at right now with your degree?
So I actually just completed my master's in adult education on August of 2024, which obviously not only does it give me the degree, but also on my current job, which I teach Air Force Junior RTC at a high school, it gives me a pay raise as well. So, you know, uh, I'm switching schools right now, school districts. So my new district for having that master's is giving me almost $7,000 a year extra, um,
Wow.
of a raise for achieving that master's degree. So it was something obviously that um, I needed to do, whether I got the raise or not. But obviously, it's the caveat that came along with achieving my master's.
And then you achieved your master's through both the GI Bill and the other benefits that you had already accumulated throughout the years. Am I correct?
Correct. Yes, I was. So my bachelor's, I got it with my Montgomery GI Bill, and then uh, I did three deployments since 9/11, which gave me 100% of the post 9/11 GI Bill, which is what helped me get that master's degree. And
And then
both
you are,
bachelor's and masters, I didn't pay a penny out of pocket.
and how has that changed not just your life, but your family's life?
So it's obviously, um, my wife and I, who both have educations and degrees, and obviously shows our children, our two daughters, that how important it is to get to have a plan, right? Not necessarily a college degree, maybe, but at least have an idea of achieving a certification, some technical training certification, but ultimately, obviously, getting a degree in a field that hopefully is going to help you earn a good living.
And then now you and your family are the first ones generationally that are also um, the first ones to go to school, right? And then now your daughter, she is going to school right now because of your example. How is that
Yes.
changing the dynamic on your household, your legacy going forward in your family?
So as you mentioned, I have three sisters. I'm one of four, and out of my three sisters and myself, I'm the first one to include both my parents. As my mom only has a third grade education, my dad has a fourth grade education. So I'm the first one to actually achieve a college degree in my family. And then both my two of my three sisters have two girls and one son each. So out of the six kids, and then plus my two, my daughter is the first one to actually get into college, get admitted. She, I think one of the things that I think is helped too is push her to do better and be the best, because she graduated from high school with the 4.7 GPA. Um, she had everything she needed, right, to be accepted at almost any school, which she applied at UC Davis, UCLA, UC San Diego, and Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and all of them accepted her. Um, UC San Diego and UC Davis were the ones that offered her more scholarship money. UCLA, unfortunately, didn't offer much, but thankfully, because of my BA benefits, she's getting tuition waive and paying for part of the room and board at school, which it's a costly thing. Where I wish I could say I'm rich, where I can just write a check every every year and pay 50 grand for school, but that's not the case. So I'm pretty thankful that I've done everything and that I've done so far to be able to achieve that for her and my other kids too. So
And now let's talk a little bit about what we learned during that seminar, right? We talked about financial freedom. What were some of the key takeaways that you had that had you not gone to the seminar, you would have been curious about it? Maybe you waited this long in your life to learn.
I think that the biggest one is how to maximize your VA loan, to use it for you know primarily for something that can be like an investment property, instead of just a single home, single family home, but instead you should invest in something that's going to give you a bigger return than just a single home for you to live in. I think that's something that once you start stabilizing and earning equity in that property you buy with the VA loan, you can actually achieve and be able to buy a single home for you and your family that's going to be more profitable. So I learned the different ways how you can maximize using that. One of the stories was that one person was able to buy four homes on their VA loan, right? So I didn't know that. That's one thing that it's kind of was really new to me that there I thought that was a set amount. Once you used it, then that was it. But I found out that no, the VA loan you can go depending on obviously income and whatever you're trying to invest in, which could also be used um, towards how much you qualify for. Is so important because that's something that I didn't understand before. I think another good part that I learned that day was the fact about the legal aspect of real estate and how you want to protect yourself and your family by having, starting an LLC, um, getting everything that's legal uh, and legality the right way so that you don't have any problems in the future and you protect your family. As one of the stories that they share was somebody that had like 10 properties, and when he passed away, somebody got hurt, and the spouse ended up having to sell two homes because of the person who got hurt and sue them. They were not protected. The homes were not protected by the correct LLCs. And so things like that I never thought about, or the one about the the life insurance. I think that was so important because why work with the banks when you can work with your own money if you're smart enough to save enough to where you borrow your own money out of your own account and you just put it back and actually still make a little money on it. So so there's so many different opportunities and resources out there uh, that we can learn. And obviously, I'm trying to do more research on some of the things that I learned to see how that can help me achieve that financial freedom.
Well, awesome, bro. Thank you so much for sharing all these things. I know we're going to talk about it more in depth as as the days come along. I really truly appreciate your time. Is there anything else, parting words that you want to share with the audience as we have them captivated at the moment?
I just hope that anything that there was something I said that maybe caught your ear, and Yogi and I are here and can probably be some kind of resource. Although we're now, I know I'm not an expert on any of this yet, but I'm really looking forward to learning more and be able to share this with all of our veterans and anybody that's part of our friends, and part of our group that want to be involved with us because it's the one thing I think that we learn in the military is that we want to learn to train who replaces us, and it's not one of those things where you need to want to keep all that to yourself. No, you want to share it with everybody because that's what makes the world a better place if we can share good things with each other.
I love it, brother. So, for everybody that's listening to us out there, please leave a question, a comment, and then we will be more than glad to either one, research it, bring someone that knows more about this subject, who's a subject matter expert. But most of all, we want to share our journey with you as we go from learning about what all of these things are, right? And then showing you the results that we built up along the way. All right. Without further ado,
For sure.
Miltivet, I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Miltivet out.
Thanks, Yogi. Appreciate you.